When we think of Rome's golden age, we think of this: white marble, order, the Pax Romana, a civilization at its absolute peak. But that is a lie. Or at least, it's only the view from the palace balcony. Down on the street, the Golden Age was a nightmare of crushing inequality, filth, and silence. For every senator draped in purple, there were thousands of Romans living in squalor so deep, history tried to forget them. Today, we are walking away from the Forum and into the Suburra to see the Rome they didn't want you to see. Welcome back to Ancient Historian. If you want to uncover the lost realities and taboos that shaped the ancient world, the stuff the history books leave out, make sure to subscribe right now. We are peeling back the layers of history every single week, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Let's talk numbers. We often hear about Rome's wealth, but we rarely ask who actually held it. Modern historians estimate that during the height of the empire, the top 1% of Roman society held roughly 16% to 20% of the entire empire's wealth. To put that in perspective, the vast majority of people in the city of Rome, about 80%, lived at or just barely above subsistence level. While the elite dined on exotic birds and imported wine on the Palatine Hill, just a few hundred meters away in the Suburra district, life was a daily battle for survival. This wasn't just a rough neighborhood, it was a fire trap. The poor didn't live in villas, they lived in Insulae, massive, shoddily built apartment blocks that could rise 6 or 7 stories high. The higher up you lived, the cheaper the rent, and the more likely you were to die. Why? Because when, not if, but when, these wooden death traps caught fire, there was no escape from the top floors. But how did it get this bad? The tragedy of Rome's golden age is that its success is exactly what destroyed its own people. As Rome conquered the Mediterranean, untold wealth flooded in. But so did something else. Slaves. Hundreds of thousands of them. Rich landowners bought up huge tracts of public land and created latifundia, massive mega-farms run entirely by slave labor. The average Roman farmer, the backbone of the Republic, couldn't compete. They were priced out, bought out, or simply kicked out. This created a massive refugee crisis within Italy itself. Displaced farmers flooded into the city of Rome, jobless and homeless, creating the very mob that the emperors had to pacify with bread and circuses. The Golden Age wasn't built for the Roman people, it was built on top of their ruins. We cannot discuss this era without addressing the engine that kept the lights on: slavery. We explored the specific lives of male concubines in our previous video, but the scale of general slavery during the Golden Era is terrifying. It is estimated that at certain points, up to 30% of the population of Italy were enslaved people. This wasn't just labor, it was social death. In the eyes of Roman law, a slave was a thing with a voice. During the height of Roman luxury, the treatment of these individuals actually worsened in many ways, as the influx of captives made human life cheap. If a master was murdered in his home, Roman law dictated that every single slave living under that roof, regardless of guilt, age, or gender, could be executed. This actually happened during the reign of Nero. 400 innocent people were put to death while the Senate debated and eventually nodded in agreement. This was justice in the Golden Age. Rome was a marvel of engineering, law, and conquest. But when we look at the ruins today, we must remember that the marble was polished by people who had no voice. The Golden Age was real, but it was a thin layer of gold leaf painted over a structure of suffering, inequality, and blood. The question isn't just how great was Rome, but great for whom? If you enjoyed this look behind the curtain of history, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And tell me in the comments below, what other golden age of history do you suspect has a dark side we need to expose? Click here to watch our deep dive into the lives of Roman concubines, or click here for more ancient mysteries. I'll see you in the next one.